Hey everybody! So I still have a whiteboard, I still have a marker, but I have a very different kind of problem in the problem of the day. This is not a problem we did yesterday or last week or probably ever. It's going to ask you to have a math conversation with someone. Tell them you're thinking. Listen to their thinking. So I want you to just be ready from the beginning. Maybe not to have all the answers. Here we go. Patricia has a picture of a circle. Here's her circle. Now, here's the question. At what point around this shape can she start if she wants to cut the circle in half? And now that you've thought a little bit about that, what about a triangle? Same question. At what points around the triangle are you able to start if you want to cut this shape in half? So what you're going to do for me is you're going to take that whiteboard and you're going to draw a circle and a triangle like you see here. Then, using your whiteboard marker, I want you to try, after thinking about it, to cut the shape in half. Maybe more than once, if you can. Talk about anything you notice, anything that's different, anything that's the same about doing that on both of these shapes. Then I'm going to have you come back to me and I'll share some of my thoughts with you about this circle and this triangle. All right? If you haven't already, you should pause the video and go do those things because I'm about to give you a bunch of my thinking here. First thing I'm going to tell you is my lines are not going to be perfect. I'm going to try my best to keep both sides exactly the same, but it's not going to be a perfectly straight line because I'm using this funny pen on the computer screen, and just bear with me. All right, so here's a circle. I'm going to start at the top. That's kind of probably where most of you started. I'm going to start right at the top and I'm going to cut the shape in half, right? And then I'm going to say, hey, I'm not done there though. I'm going to start on the side. And I'm going to cut that shape in half too. And I could keep going, right? I could probably cut this shape in half over and over again. And I could start pretty much anywhere around the outside of this shape. But there is one rule, okay? So all of these lines, all of these cuts I made worked, right? And if I took them in isolation, you would see that any individual cut like that would leave me with two half circles, two semicircles. However, you can't just cut anywhere. So for example, if I start right here and I go over to here, did I cut that circle in half? No. There is a rule about this circle, and it's right here in the middle. Any line you make that passes through this middle, through the center of the circle, will indeed cut it in half. See? Cut it in two parts. I went right through the middle. And try that again. Two parts. Over and over again. As long, I didn't quite do it. I'm going to have to scoot that over a little bit. There, good. As long as it made it through the middle, it's going to result in two halves. All right, second part of the question. Did you try to cut the triangle in half? Well, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to cut right through the middle of the triangle. Ha-ha! That's not good. Are those two halves the same size, the same shape? No, I didn't do it. I did not cut it in half. I cut it, but these are unequal parts. So triangles have a very different rule when you're cutting them in half. Did any of you successfully cut the triangle? Yeah, I'm guessing many of you started at the top and you went straight down to the bottom. Two equal parts. Forgive my line. Was that the only way? No. You could start right here at this point and get the same thing. I mean, you have to kind of tilt your head to see it, but you have two equal parts right there. You could do the same thing right here. But that's it. When you're cutting a triangle in half, you have to start at one of the three corners. And then you go to the opposite side and you land right in the middle of the opposite side from that corner. So if I was talking about a circle, I would say there are hundreds of ways to cut this in half. Just depends how sharp your pencil is, how thin of a line you could do. Whereas a triangle, there are only three ways. So very different experiences and hopefully a new one for you guys. Thanks for thinking about math with me, guys. Bye now.